What's up, everybody? It's Stephen A. Williams, president and founder of the creditrepairshop.com. In today's video, we're going to answer questions that I have here on YouTube. And uh, before we get started, I want to send my well wishes to Tiger Woods. He was just in a car accident earlier this morning in California, and we wish him well. I mean, it seemed like he's been struggling ever since he had that back surgery. Um, Also, something that I want to say that I'm going to go into my days with this thought in my mind because it'll help me help you more. And this is what it is. And you might even need to say this to yourself because this might be something. Uh, this just let me say it real quick. I had heard a statement and it said that to you, you are only uh, a single person in this world. Like you're one of millions of people, billions of people in this world. But to one person, you could be the world to that one person. Or to someone else, you are the world to that person. And uh, obviously, with our friends and family, they could be thinking about us that way. And but I've learned that when I speak to people and when I look at the YouTube comments and and from the help that we give people with getting their credit and debt taken care of, and just sometimes just giving them the words to have them be able to calm down and know that this whole thing is not the end of the world, that I need to understand that some of the times the words that I give to people and the advice and making these videos in in a person at a specific time in someone's life, it could mean the world to them. You know, it could mean the world to them. So that's why I take the time out of the day to just make the videos, and I'm just speaking to you as if you're here at my office. So let's get to it. A lot of people are getting sued right now. A lot of people are getting sued. More debt is being released, and the debt buyers are buying the debt faster. Uh, because they know people are going to be getting income tax. They know that people are going to be getting uh, another stimulus check, or that a stimulus check is still coming to them. So they know that people have money and they want to try to see how much of that money that they can get. So uh, the first thing, and I know I repeat this a lot, but people are always coming here on YouTube and they're saying, what do I do if I get a demand letter? So let's go from the top. And you need to hear this because I see people making these mistakes over and over when they get a demand letter. Step number one, you get that demand letter, you look at it, and you go and you look at who the original creditor is. If you don't know when that account charged off, go to your credit reports. And as a matter of fact, go to your credit reports. Don't try to go off of memory. So you look at the original creditor on the demand letter. You look at your credit reports and you look at the original charge off date for the original creditor, not for the debt collector. And then step two, look at your state's statute of limitations collection laws for debt collection laws, or for debt. It could be an original creditor or a debt collector. Look at the statute of limitations to collect a debt in your state. If it's a credit card debt, that's an open end account. All the states have different statute of limitations when it's an open end account, and they have a different statute of limitation when it's just a written contract like a automobile that you owed or some type of personal loan. And if you don't know the statute of limitations for your state for collecting debt, go to my website, thecreditrepairshop.com, look that up, and you'll see you can go to my blog and you can type in statute of limitations and then you can see the page that has that. Once you know if the debt is past the legal statute of limitations to collect for your state, and if it was in another state that you originated the debt and the statute of limitations favor you for that state, you can still use this same letter and just see what they're going to come back and say. So there's a free letter that I give you below, and I do ask for donations because it's worth it. Get that letter, and you can send them this letter saying that it is past the legal statute of limitation to collect. And I wrote out everything that you need to say. That's the only thing you need to say. You don't need to go into anything else. You're just notifying them that they're trying to collect a debt that is past the legal statute of limitations by law to collect in your state. Now, this is not a debt that is a judgment. This is just a debt that you got a demand letter. It was charged off some time ago, and now this debt buyer is trying to come after you for it. And this does happen. I just showed you in a video last week that they were buying debt that was more than 12 years old. And there's only one state that has uh, statute of limitations past 10 years. Most are within the 3 to 6 year range. If it is not past the legal statute of limitations, the next letter I want you to, the letter I want you to send, and I have two, and the links are below this video. The first one is a cease collection activities. I want you to try using that letter because some of the times they will, I don't want to say like a legit debt collector, but if they are a legit debt collector and they get this letter, if they cannot get everything that's stated in that letter, they will cease collection activities. This letter works wonders. Sometimes they might say, hey, we're still going to go after it because we don't believe this person uh, is going to do anything. But you send that letter, and if it doesn't go away, then the next one I want you to do is I want you to send a debt validation letter. This is taking it up a notch where you're saying, okay, you want to continue coming after me. I'm going to make you prove everything about that debt. So you're going to want to use that letter. So below this video, there's 3 different letters that you can download and have your ammunition ready to go after debt collectors that are coming after you. The sooner you go after them, the easier it is for them to just give up on it. Because once they start spending big money by getting a lawyer in your area and different things, um, it's going to make it harder for you to get them to stop coming after you. Not to say that it won't happen, but this is just where if you just take the initiative and just jump on it right when you get that demand letter, a lot of stuff can stop right at that time. It happens for a lot of people. A lot of our clients happen for a lot of people that use the letters here on YouTube. Now, let's go into the questions and answers because a lot of people had questions. Uh, Someone had on here that they had got a threatened for garnishment from a debt collection company. They refused to validate the debt, and that it was from a bad check and some medical stuff that was more than 20 years old. So that's a good one where you would use the statute of limitations. Let's let's talk about the problem with that one. Let me tell you why they're disregarding, because you're not asking the right question that pertains to the debt. If you are trying to validate a debt and you know that the debt is past statute of limitations, they're going to keep disregarding you because this is a debt collector that is willfully buying debt that is past the legal statute of limitations, and they know it. So they're not going to, until you ask that right question and notify them that, not even asking, until you notify them that you know that the debt is past legal statute of limitations to collect, they're going to keep coming after you the other way. So you're like in the wrong lane dealing with this debt collector. Uh, so you need to send them first, do the statute of limitations letter to them saying that the debt is past legal statute of limitations to collect. That's going to make that debt go away. Someone stated on here, there was one, they said that Portfolio is sending them letters and have even gotten a judgment. Let's see here. Let me read it completely. It says that Portfolio has been driving them nuts. They bought a debt. So far, I'm concerned. I don't owe them. I didn't tell them to buy a bad debt. Have even gotten a judgment letter from them and upping the price. Being disabled, very sick for 2 years, they're calling consistently. Let me tell you the first thing you do. Um, from what you're telling me here, if they got a judgment, then it's past the debt validation part. Let me respond to that. If they've already got a judgment, then it's past that. This is basically into the collection period where they're just trying to figure out if you're going to be able to pay. So if they got a judgment against you, then you need to just notify them that you're disabled and they're going to stop. You can notify them by phone, answer the phone, notify them that that you're disabled, that you are not working, and they will stop. And then you can tell them also only communicate in writing, and that will stop. Next one here, would a hardship letter work if the company has come after my car for repo, but I wouldn't let them take it? Hardship letter would work to renegotiate potentially with them, but it's not going to work to make them stop coming after the vehicle because the vehicle is collateral against the loan. And then filing bankruptcy could stop them from being able to come after you, but it's not going to make the debt go away because if the debt is secured by the vehicle, then what they're going to do is make you make a choice of either paying them and or you're gonna give them the car when you file bankruptcy. And then that's gonna force you into a chapter 13 bankruptcy because you want to keep the car. And there's a lot of problems with chapter 13. You need to sit down with a lawyer to see your to make sure that you're making the right decision on that. Someone asked, do we give loans to clear up debt? No, we don't. Let's see here. Someone said that LVNV funding is trying to come after them. Again, when you get those demand letters, you need to send them the cease collection activities letter. Those links are below the video. Someone said, what if they have proof that the debt belongs to you? Should you pay it? It depends if you've done a debt validation on it, and then if you've done a debt validation, then the next step is to negotiate a settlement on the debt. Someone stated if they received 1099-C last week for a debt that they paid to a collection service with a settlement for less, you will get a form. But now, if it's coming from a debt collector, they technically don't have a right to say that they lost the money when they bought the debt for less and they gave you a settlement on the debt. They'll try to get away with it, but what you could do is you could submit to the IRS that they technically did not have a loss of the additional money that they didn't collect from you because they have to show a real loss, not just a balloon loss from where they buy debts for pennies on a dollar and then say you owe this amount and give you a settlement and then come and send a 1099-C for the remaining amount. That's technically not legal for them to do it. They do get away with doing it, but I think that if they did an audit, that there would be potential problems with them. And what you could potentially do is you could notify the debt collector that you know that the debt was purchased at a discount and that you're going to report to the IRS that they did not loan you that total amount. And you can see what they want to come back and say about that. Someone said here that E&A Associates is stating that they're calling pertaining a civil lawsuit that's pending against them. And they're saying, should they call them back and verify the last four of Social Security? If you did not receive a letter, yes, call them back. Tell them to send everything in writing to you so you can do a debt validation. My good buddy here, Anthony Rose, he stated that they're not educating people about how to manage their finance, and I do agree with that. We do need to teach our kids, and we all need to learn more about finances. Someone said that they got a letter today saying that they owe $200,000 to Home Depot. The card was back from 2004. They never had the card. They said it was never that they never had an account with them. So first step number one is do a police report, and then do a ID theft report, ID theft kit, and submit it to Home Depot or whoever has that account now, stating that you did not sign up for credit with them. That's what you need to do. And then number two, if it comes out saying that you know, maybe your memory gets jogged and you did have an account with them, you need to look and see if this is with statute of limitations, because it's obviously going to be past statute of limitations for all 50 states. The longest statute of limitation is 15 years for one state, and you're saying it is 17 years. As long as they don't have a judgment, and a judgment would be 20 years. Someone said that they got a summons, they're stressed out. Don't be stressed. I want you to watch my video on how to respond to a summons. Get into the mindset of responding to it. Not to say that you're going to win, but at least it'll, give you a fighting chance to win, and it'll get your mind off of being stressed. Someone wrote here about validating a bankruptcy. You don't technically validate a bankruptcy. When you dispute a bankruptcy on your credit reports, they're going to look at LexisNexis to verify the information that the bankruptcy should be placed on your credit reports. That's where they're digging up the information on public records. So that's it for these here. I just want to get these questions answered. I'm also going to type them in here for people, so they will, so you'll be able to move forward with your credit and debt. And again, if you need help with your credit, with credit repair, go to our website, creditrepairshop.com. If you don't have your credit reports and scores, please go to your number 3scores.com and grab those, because everything starts there. That's where you're going to have all of the information about what's going on with a particular original creditor, and also with debt collectors. Thanks a lot. This is Stephen A. Williams, president and founder of the creditrepairshop.com. Thank you.